There are a lot of people like this in the United States of America that we never really consider when we're talking about it, because technically they're not doing anything wrong. We're not talking about fucking landlords, okay? Let's continue. Let's get to it. DC judges set a Trump trial for one day before Super Tuesday.
News into CNN. A federal judge has just
Trump
set the
watch,
trial
Trump
date
watch,
for
Trump
former
watch.
President Donald Trump on charges that he tried to overturn the 2020 presidential election. March 4th, 2024. CNN's Evan Perez is outside the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C. He just sprinted out of the courtroom. Evan, take us there. How did this unfold?
Well, Boris, this was quite a heated hearing from the part of the former president's lawyers who were pushing for a much later court trial date. They always said that the former president is not going to be able to get a fair trial if he is forced to go to trial in the next few months. In part, they say they're buried under millions and millions of pages of discovery from the prosecution, things that they say they have to go through. They noted that at least the lawyers don't even have their final security clearances yet to be able to review some of the classified information that they expect that they're going to be able to get. The judge pushed back very, very strongly. She said that the public has an interest, or has a right in a prompt and an efficient resolution of this matter. She set March 4th for the trial to get started. Now that's right before, I believe, right before the Iowa caucuses, or I'm sorry, right before the Super Tuesday. So that obviously brings up the political question, right, for the former president, because you're looking at a period where
it's a witch hunt. It's free.
Could be 4 or 5 weeks of trial, where he might have to spend his weekdays sitting here at the federal court while he goes on trial. In this case, the judge, Judge Tanya Chutkan, pushed back.
I do appreciate like our legal instruments operating with the fucking utmost content dome, basically creating an environment where we can still enjoy Trump content. It's so sick. Like, yeah, sure, they care about the rule of law. Like, oh, these guys, like, they want to make sure that a person who has, like, abused all institutions is not completely just receiving zero scrutiny. You know what I mean? They're like, no, you can't do that and get away with it, right? However, I don't care about any of that. I fucking love that they are so content-minded, okay? I love it.
Strongly when the former president's lawyers said that they just don't have the time to prepare. She said, I've seen defendants who've had maybe not the resources to have their lawyers prepare for trial. She noted this is not the case. John Lauro, one of the former president's attorneys, really made a strong push. Again, an impassioned plea for a much later date. He said what the prosecution was trying to get was a show trial, not a speedy trial. So you see...
no, this is not going to be on live TV.
There from the proceedings here today that this judge, Judge Chutkan, she...
Chat, this won't be on live television. This is a federal one. Unless they change the rules, which I do believe it should be live televised, because this is absolutely a matter of public interest. It is a matter of public interest. But unfortunately for us, federal courts do not have live televised trials.
She was not very patient with the idea of waiting till 2026. I should note, she said that she had a conversation with a judge in New York, where the former president is also facing a criminal trial related to the hush money payments there in New York. She said she talked to the judge there because she realized that it might overlap with that case there. Nonetheless, she said that she was setting this date, and obviously there's a lot of room between now and the 7 months from now where the two sides are going to fight this out and try to push that date even further, at least on the part of the former president, Boris.
A major decision by Judge Chutkan, March 4th, 2024. As you noted, Evan, one day before Super Tuesday on March 5th, one of the biggest days on the primary calendar. Evan Perez, thanks so much for breaking that news to us. We're joined now by Democratic strategist and former executive director for the New York State Democratic Party, Basil.
Trump arraignment scheduled for September 6th in the Fulton case. That's the one we care about, boys. Donald Trump's arraignment in Fulton County, Georgia, has been set for September 6th at 9:30 a.m., which is kind of fucked up. Our big, beautiful boy can't be awake that early, okay? Yeah, that's EST. I know. I'll be live. I'll be up. Don't fucking worry about it, baby. You know my ass is all over the shit, okay? I am going to need crack cocaine, I'm pretty sure, to cover this election cycle, especially with like all of the weirdness happening on the court watch area. I will be there no matter what. Don't care. No matter what happens, I will be there, okay? I'll be watching you.
Basil Smigel and Republican strategist and former RNC communications director Doug Heye. Doug, I want to start with you because
also the next Republican debate is happening in my backyard. I think it's happening in California.
Donald Trump has a lot of momentum, and he's maintained momentum as we've seen all of these legal processes play out. I have to imagine that with a trial start date of March 4th, he's going to use that going into March 5th.
Well, I think actually by March 5th, we'll know who the nominee is. Ultimately, I think this primary season comes down to the Iowa caucuses. Iowa typically, and I've worked in Iowa running comms for the 2012 caucus, Iowa typically is what winnows the field out. You lose in Iowa, you come in fourth place, fifth place, or worse, you drop out. But if Donald Trump wins Iowa, it's very clear then that he's going to have the momentum going into New Hampshire, where he's also leading in the polls. And a Donald Trump who wins Iowa and New Hampshire is not going to be...
Wait. Is this September 6th? Like, this upcoming, like, next week? Wait. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, fuck no. Is a 15-minute proceeding? Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's not even just Starfield. Fuck. Oh, no. I was getting my fucking wires crossed with the Super Tuesday Trump trial, the federal one. Fuck. It's not even Starfield. It's not even Starfield. It's not even Starfield. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it's just the arraignment. It's not the trial, but is there an actual reason why this court date is being placed right before Super Tuesday, or are the judges just doing a little bit of trolling? I don't know. Speaking of Starfield law, have you seen this yet? Wait, what the fuck? I don't want to show leaks, man. I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I don't know what that works, what that looks like. I can't show a leak. You didn't sign an NDA? No, chatter. I don't know if you know this, but this is called fucking Twitch.tv. It's a video game first platform, and you will get banned for showing leaks. Yeah. Like, Twitch absolutely will clap you for showing leaks, because Starfield will slap you for... Starfield early access August 31st. No streamer is waiting till the 6th. Yeah, I mean, I'll get the early access for deluxe edition, I think, but also, it's such a fucking massive game, dude. Like, one Oblivion style dumbass situation is not going to spoil it for me, okay? Yeah, it's a halt, you violated the law leak, okay? Who cares? No, I might be doing something with my family on that day, like specifically that day, as a matter of fact. Like literally that day. which is why I'm a little worried, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get back to this one, though. The D.C. judge sets Trump trial for one day before Super Tuesday.
In the Republican primary.
So, Basil, let's say that
At 6:30 in the morning, though, think it through, chatter. You will recognize that it won't be just 6:30 in the morning. It's an entire thing. It would be the entire day. What? How are you guys talking to each other in the chat like this?
that continues, seeing the momentum that Trump still clearly has.
Are you eloping? Yeah, with your mom.
I mean, is he the person that Biden and the Democrats want to face again in 2024? And I want to just show you this Quinnipiac University poll, which showed a hypothetical 2024 matchup, Biden and Trump pretty much neck and neck.
Well, Biden-Trump 2.0, I'm not scared of that. I don't think the Democrats are scared of that. Frankly, if you think about and look at all of those issues that are still top of mind for voters, particularly reproductive rights, I think those are mobilizing issues. You know, he's done well on the economy. He doesn't get the credit that he should, and I get that. But he's been great on the economy in terms of playing defense, if you will, on those reproductive rights issues that are now in the states. I think Democrats see that as a winning issue. And frankly, when you look at the ways in which independents and disaffected Republicans came out for Democrats in 2022, I still think that's a winning coalition in 2024.
But let's say the economy remains the primary issue. What would it take for him to get credit for the economy? Because you're right, he doesn't get credit, at least with Americans on polling.
I think continuing to still talk about it. I don't think he should be speaking a lot about, you know, what's happening with Donald Trump, maybe minimally. He's the best surrogate for his own record on the economy. Continue to do that. Those are, you know, for Democrats, a lot of what we're discussing is built in. For independents and Republicans that want to vote for Democrats, continue to talk about those.
Great on the economy. Centrist Dems always say comms, never we need to do anything. Home affordability is the worst it's been since 1984. Yeah. But you don't understand. That's not a part of the economy. That's a totally separate thing that has to keep going up. Because the other side of this, for the record, okay, because the other side of this is the voters, the real voters, asset holders, people who own homes. Those people, the economy is doing all right for them. It's the idea that the economy is doing all right for them that makes this problem as big as it is. Does that make sense? Tell the person spending 60% of the income on the rent that the economy is doing great. Chatter. I talk about this all the time. Okay? I talk about this all the time. The economy is not doing great for the average American, okay? But the average American is not the average American that they give a shit about. Beyond corporations and the omega wealthy, okay? Beyond the corporations and the omega wealthy, the average American that the Democratic and the Republican Party care about are average Americans in the suburbs that are upper middle class homeowners that got in, multiple decades, like nearly half a fucking century ago, into their homes and have that asset, and that asset must always appreciate, okay? There are a lot of people like this in the United States of America that we never really consider when we're talking about it, because technically they're not doing anything wrong. We're not talking about fucking landlords, okay? We're not talking about even mom and pop landlords. We're not talking about corporate landlords. We're talking about just a guy who owns a house and wants his home value to consistently go up, okay? Your parents probably fall in this category, okay? Like, they believe that this is their only wealth accumulation strategy, and they are used to their wealth accumulation strategy continuing to accumulate wealth. There is no world in which, like, their property values go down. It has never gone down, and it should never go down, because if it goes down, that spells trouble. That means, like, a big chunk of their asset, a big chunk of their net worth that is tied to this one individual asset is now going away. Okay? That is bedlam for the average, like, median centrist voter that is your parent. Okay? They do not want that to go down. It's what their retirement sometimes is tied to. It's what their nest egg is. It's what they want to leave to you. They do not want that. I'm not talking about landlords, chat. Understand, I'm talking about home owners, okay? Myself included, right? The difference for me, however, is that I do not care about the home I'm inside of as an appreciating asset for wealth accumulation. I care about it as shelter for myself and my family and a place that I can stream out of, okay? But most people don't think that way. They think, oh, no, this is wealth accumulation. This is the most important singular tool of wealth accumulation, okay? The thing that they don't realize is if they own one house worth of houses, even if that value goes up or down, it doesn't matter because they still own one house worth of houses because the other houses also went up or down. It doesn't matter. You cannot explain that to them. You mean you don't have to worry about it? Yeah, I don't. You want to know why I don't have to worry about it? Because I'm also working on top of that, Chomsky Gaming. Instead of taking all the fucking capital that I've accumulated and dumping it into the stock market, I do not play the stock market game, or I do not play the asset accumulation game. I do not play the private property game. This is what I do. If I stop streaming, I don't make money. That's just how it works. Whereas private property and wealth accumulation doesn't work that way. Okay? That's the point. So you might use that as a fucking own because you're like, well, you're really wealthy. Of course you don't give a shit about this. It's like, yeah. Because that's how people used to make money. They used to make money by fucking working in a job that paid them at least a decent fucking wage. And it wasn't about like, you know, market conditions. It wasn't about your asset constantly accumulating like an insane amount of value year over year, which on the other side is, of course, displacing plenty of people like you, chatter, you yourself. The overwhelming majority of younger generations who do not have a home. That's the other side of the home affordability dynamic. Does that make sense? Why do people pocket watch you this much? Who cares? They pocket watch because at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break. Okay? And they look down at their pockets and they don't see $5. So they can subscribe for $5. But they forget that they don't need $5 to subscribe. They can do it for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? By connecting their Amazon Prime accounts or their parents' Prime accounts to their Twitch account to get one free Prime subscription a month. They use it on their favorite champagne socialist. Me. Okay? And if all of that fails, you can still get lucky and get gifted a sub. Yes, you are rating the transition. You're rating the segue. That's what the segue rates are for. Literal fucking hater, dude. That is insane. That is an insane... Dude, come on, dude. How can we have honesty and integrity in this fucking community when my mod team is doing... my own mods saying 5 out of 10 overrateds get banned? That's crazy. I'm going to ban you, Betelgeuse. The fuck you mean? That was a decent-ass segue. You guys suck. You just cooked it. You cooked the books. Anyway. So, let's get back to how the economy is doing great.
Economic issues. I think you just keep hammering it away. They've got some really great media buys, particularly in the in swing states with voters of color. That all helps.
The White House has not gone directly after former President Trump for his legal woes, and neither have a lot of Republicans, Doug. A lot of those folks on the debate stage last week raised their hands saying they would support Donald Trump even if he was...
I see a lot of guys comparing this kind of asset income economy to side hustles, which even squarely middle-class people have to take on now. That's what attracts so many stuff like crypto. Risky side ventures don't feel insane in an insane economy. No, absolutely. Yeah, everyone wants a piece. And everyone wants to feel... I don't even fault people for this to some degree because Everyone wants to feel like they own capital because they look around and the only people that they see succeeding are those who own capital. So why wouldn't they want to take their meager income that is remaining after their fucking landlord took like 50%, 60% in some cases, their goddamn income, and like try to dump it into some get-rich-quick schemes because they feel like what else is there to lose? This is always these diseases of despair, whether it be alcoholism or gambling, or even like, fuck it, I'll even say prostitution. These things that people get addicted to, well, prostitution is not the same, but still, these things that become way more prominent have historically been in cycles. Obviously, they're always there for entertainment, and that's perfectly fine, okay? As entertainment, perfectly fine, great. Except the worse material conditions get, the more people think that is a mechanism of escape and like feeling like that is a brief moment of like realness that you can experience, a dopamine hit, you know what I mean, a rush. Or in the instance of like crypto, it's more so like the working man's way of not necessarily gambling, but like playing in the stock market. I think one of the funniest parts about like post-COVID economy analysis has always been turning the dial back to pre-COVID and going, but look, the economy is thriving. It's just like before COVID. And it's like, dog, it sucked for normal, everyday, average working class people before COVID too, you fucking idiots. You forgot. There was this insane moment of COVID that like what? We somehow forgot that in the pre-COVID time, like the economy wasn't good either. It wasn't good either. The issue is, and I tell you guys this all the fucking time, those levers that you're pulling are not going to save you. People lie all the time and make it seem like it's your salvation. It's not. Okay? There is no salvation there. There's no pathway to a better financial future there. Oh, my dad has brought me food. 1 second.
Convicted. Does that change as we get closer to the primaries?
Well, I would hope it would, but it probably doesn't. Everything that we've seen thus far suggests that it wouldn't. And it's not just that they're not criticizing or going after or attacking Donald Trump in a way that they would any other candidate for any other race. The reality is when Donald Trump gets indicted, not only does it sort of reinforce his core message that the system's rigged and there's 2 tiers of justice and all of that, but his own opponents reinforce that language. If you're running against Donald Trump, but you back him up, you're strengthening him. You're not weakening him. You're not helping your case to become president. But I would say, I know that Democrats look at this race and think, well, we'll probably do pretty well against Donald Trump. But there's a real reality here of being careful what you wish for. That's exactly what Democrats thought in 2016. They thought there was no way that Donald Trump could beat Hillary Clinton, and he did, and we saw what the results were from that. I'd tell Democrats, be really careful of what you wish for on this.
You're rhetorical.
No, it's absolutely, I mean, he's right. There's a good chance that Donald Trump can win. And so for Democrats, you can't be complacent at all. I think Hakeem Jeffries, and interestingly enough, I also think Nancy Pelosi, they're in a great position to actually help make the Democrats' case down ballot. If you think about reproductive rights, for example, in many ways, the Republicans are responding in the ways they did with the Affordable Care Act. They got power, they got what they wanted, and didn't have a solution at the other end. I think, and you saw that play out on the GOP debate stage. So what that gives is an opportunity for Democrats to hit every Republican on the most draconian policies that are being put forth in states, all the way down ballot. We do that, we stick to the script, then I think we have an opportunity to get more seats back, particularly in New York and California, and I think gives President Biden a boost.
Doug, as we learn more about these trial dates and they're set, Ambassador Bolton made the point earlier when speaking to Boris that a conviction might change minds in a way that investigations and indictments haven't. Do you see it that way?
Mm-hmm. Potentially so. Look, all those candidates who raised their hand and said they'd support Donald Trump if he were convicted, that's being convicted in theory, not convicted in practice. So certainly you could see some people peel away from that. And you could certainly bet that those voters, independent voters, soft Republicans who voted for Donald Trump in 2016 but then went to Joe Biden in 2020, indictment and certainly conviction, don't want to go in that direction. It also highlights what a lot of the conversation is going to be. Basil's telling us very specifically what Democrats want to be talking about. Donald Trump's personal and legal problems and the issue of abortion. Notice they're not talking about the economy. It's still very rocky ground for Joe Biden right now. Looks to continue for a long time. This is not the terra firma that they want to be on.
Basil, quickly to you, put you on the spot. You said you were comfortable with a Donald Trump-Joe Biden rematch. Who do the Democrats not want to face?
Wow, that's a great question. I can't say that they don't want to face anyone. What I would say is that with anyone on the ballot, and that includes Donald Trump, there's a chance that Democrats don't win. We saw that turnout in very key areas with key constituencies was lower than we wanted it to be in 2024. If those voters don't come out, if we can't make that case in 2024, it's going to be a problem. Doesn't matter who's on the ballot against him.
So it'll be an interesting matchup regardless of who it is. Basil, Michael, Doug High, thank you both. We appreciate it.
More breaking.
Wait, you don't see Trump winning at all? That's crazy.